Hey, folks, welcome back to the Pulse. My name is Matt. And this is Crypto Heartbeat. It's 3:30 Central Texas time, and we're back on the Pulse. Thanks for being here. This is not, one of those pump streams where we're like, Pulse chains coming like right now. No, you know what? We're still in the bear market. You know that. And we got to keep giving and giving. So I thought, you know what? What are we going to do today? What are we going to talk about? And character. I had an amazing conversation with my friend Steve today, and we were talking about nature and character. And you know what's interesting is, how would you be characterized? How would you be characterized if somebody was to, like, let me characterize David Lee for you? How would I characterize you? Would I talk about you traveling 7.5 hours from southwestern Indiana? Or how would I characterize you? What type of a character are you? And of course, everything's a story and a narrative, and there are characters who play roles. Interesting how we play roles as well. But what is the nature? Ready? What is your nature? And what is your character? And I think what's really incredible about that is, I was talking to Steve, and Steve challenges me all the time to understand, who are you? Abraham Lincoln said something really interesting. You've heard this before. It's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and to remove all doubt. Better remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and to remove all doubt. Our nature and our character is expressed through the words that we use, through the actions that we take, who we are. People get a feel for you. Don't judge a book by its cover. Well, unfortunately, you have a book cover. And what is that book cover telling about your character? What is it telling about your nature? And boy, I'm going to tell you, there couldn't be a more important time to really evaluate your nature and your character is as we move into this season of abundance. But in order to get to the season of abundance, we must pass through. We must pass through a filter. And that filter is a filter of unrest, a crisis season, folks. Everything around the world, it's turning upside down. All the chess pieces are moving. China making a deal between the Sunnis and the Shiites. That's been going on since like the dawn of, the Muslim faith. Yeah, they're buddies now. Why? Because you know what? Chinese leader said something to him. Hey, you want to take down the great Satan? And they said, yeah, that sounds good to me. So we agree on something. So it took China, not the United States, to say, hey, Saudi Arabia, you got all the oil, right? Iran, you guys, let's get together. Yeah. We have a common enemy. You know how they've weaponized the dollar? Let's take them down. 85% of all of the oil and gas is controlled by all these nations that find themselves tempted to join BRICS. What is BRICS, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus a bunch of other ones that want to join. This is a big deal. August 1st, it looks like they're going to switch over to the new SWIFT system, which is their version of SWIFT. They're going to start doing all of their transactions for oil and gas in the yuan, which is the Chinese currency. You think that's going to change things in this world? You wonder why you're not hearing this in the mainstream media? Because they're shaken to the core. And if you noticed, there is a bill in Congress. They're calling it the TikTok ban. You know what it actually is? It's actually a bill that is trying to front run this issue, which is the BRICS nation ticket of the dollar. Why? Because they want to penalize anyone from the United States who even thinks about doing a deal with our adversaries. And who are our adversaries? Well, they would define it as Russia and China and these folks that are getting together to take down the US dollar as the world reserve currency. Folks, Babylon is burning. Don't believe me? Just watch and see. So what is the nature and the character of these players who are playing chess on the global stage? And what are they saying to us through their actions and their words? And what are you saying with your actions and your words? Folks, this is an exciting time to be alive. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the nature and character of things in the world, as well as the PulseChain. All of these things are going to be talked about today. Welcome back to the Pulse. My name is Matt. This is Crypto Heartbeat. And when you think you've given enough, give some more. Let's get into the chat, say hello to you, and then we'll get to the content. Godfather J6, number one again. Man, back to back. Texan Tailgate thought he got it. He was like, I think I got the number one spot today. Nope. Got to get up really early to beat the Godfather J6. Cody Lane, what's good, Texan? Token, good to see you. Texan Tailgate is so great. You know, this mic and the sound of my voice brought to you by the great folks at forrestbaldwin.com. Sam Camp, good afternoon, Texians or Texicans. Sam Camp, good to see you. Everybody loves seeing Sam Kemp. David Lee, there's the guy who's got some nature and some character. He's a guy who traveled 7.5 hours to be with me at my dad's funeral. That was over a year ago. And this guy knows how to show the love. Jokey Clokey. Hello, everyone. Central Indiana's in the house. Everybody wants to be like David Lee. I used to live in Central Indiana. I used to live in Indianapolis in a place called Carmel, Indiana. Not Carmel. Very different place. Cody Lane, what's going on? Mr. Lee. The Hex Honcho is in the house. Good afternoon, everyone. Francis Paul's here. Terrence here. My Online Ghost back again. Anders, what's going on? And the Hex Monkey, the OG of all the OGs. Good day. Also grateful for another Heartbeat stream. Hey, we're gonna talk about the things that matter until we start eating popcorn with a crypto panda. That's the plan. Crypto graphics. What is going on? That guitar riff is nice. Brought to you by Forrest. Once again, he's the man. Crypto graphics. What's going on? It's so good to see you, by the way. I'm so glad that you're back in action. You are an important part of the PulseChain community. You're just an important part of crypto and DeFi. You are a smart fella. Thank you so much for being here. Facing reality with the elbow cough, Big BM Miners, what's going on? And the Hexiquin. How you feeling, Hexiquin? Let us know if you're feeling better. We hope that you are pumping it up. Ocean Breeze is here. Rich Liberation. Uh-oh, something's happening with the background. It's going to change. Frosty Dog, what's going on? Yeah, buddy. DJ and Dougie Peach in the house. Good to see you. Texan CP, what's going on? Let's see who else is here. Frosty Dog, don't rug pull my buddy Donnie in Mexico. Oh my gosh, that's so great. I would never do that. Frosty Dog, thanks so much for saying hello. And I appreciate that through Donnie as well. Smash the likes, hit the likes. That's why I don't stream my cover and book. Yeah, he's like, no one wants to see the book cover I got going on here. Hit the likes. Nico, what's going on? Morning all. Happy to see you live. Thanks for being here. KD, CJ Des, bonjour, my friend. Ivan Mandep. Hey, Matt, welcome back, by the way. Benny Blanco's back too. Extravagant Taste. I forgot to say hello. Hey, taste and see that the Lord is good. MJ Money, let's buy the dips. Good to see you, Crypto Heartbeat. There you go. We had somebody do a $46,000 buy today. That's like by far the largest buy. I was like, what in the world is going on here? Yeah, I need to throw some wrenches around. You know what? I don't keep YouTube open when I'm streaming. I'm just in the StreamYard. And so I'd have to go into that and open it up, but I'll do that after the stream. No way. Yeah. Carmel, Indiana. I've been leading worship at a church in Carmel. No way. How great. Yeah. I used to work for the headquarters of my fraternity, and we would office there up in Allisonville Road, matter of fact. Moonrunner, what's going on? Paul Op the 7th. Clintrons is here. Taylor, D-Cell. I'm in College Station. I want to know when there's going to be a Hex meetup. We're going to do one here in June in Houston. College Station, folks. This is the home of Texas A&M University and the Aggies. And I'm going to tell you, it is one of the coolest places. Beautiful. It's enormous. But what a wonderful place. People are going to retire, actually, in College Station. It's probably one of the greatest, I would say, college experiences anyone could have. It is unbelievable. The culture at Texas A&M is amazing. I'm feeling much better. Thank you for asking. You bet, Hexiquin. Thanks for being here. Venezuela. Dylan, hey, you got a shot. If you got a MetaMask wallet and a couple bucks, let's go. Let's go. Y'all are going to be able to say, I knew Forrest before he hit the big time. You know, Forrest has got that voice. He's one of those guys. You know, he's one of those guys where he's like really cool. You know what I mean? There are people that just have this like essence of like smooth and cool. That's Forrest. I never had that. I was always kind of the nerdy guy. Wrench me, bro. David Lee, wrenching. Come on, guys. Ramon Carrillo. What's going on? Not far from here. I grew up in Chesterton, Indiana. Nice, Frosty Dog. No way. Cryptic Kaz. Howdy, Matt. Thanks for all you're doing in the PulseChain community. Hey, we're doing it. And folks, it's getting close. Can you feel it? I can feel it. And watching Richard, I think we're going to see this week, he's going to be on like Ivan on Tech, or he's going to be on Crypto Banner, or he's going to be on BitBoy, and he's going to be like, let's go. I really hope I can make the first official Texan meetup. Hexaquin, you got to be there. We'll get you there. We'll figure it out. Taylor, what's going on? Yeah, you got to see David Lee in person. Gabe, what's going on? Miami, Florida in the house. All right, folks, let's get into the content. This will be a quick stream today. No guests that I know of are coming in, but let's talk about nature and character. So this idea that, who you are is being telegraphed to people, right? Who you are, your character, you think about it. What story are you trying to tell? We talk about narratives all the time. Crypto, especially in DeFi, no admin keys, immutable, all that stuff. It has technology, but it's more than just technology. It's really a narrative that you share. And so why did we decide to tokenize communities? Is because there's already trust in a narrative in that community, right? They already agree on something. So the Texas Nationalist Movement agrees on Texas independence. Well, there are a lot of other communities, like the folks in the Philippines with Ophir Crypto. They care about serving people, and they recognize that the value is actually embedded within the hearts of men and women. You're like, hold on a second, Crypto Heartbeat. Like the value is in our hearts? Well, yeah, let me explain that. Money, all money is a representation, right? It's a proxy of your private property, which is your labor. That's all there is. It's your labor, a proxy for your labor. That's all it is. And so if you think about what brings value, well, it's people that can actually create. And your creative ability is something that separates you from the animals, right? The animals don't create. My dog does not create. Like my dog's not an architect. But you think about it, you're like, if I drive a truck, am I actually creating? Yeah, you're creating value. If you dig a ditch or whatever you do, it's your creative ability. And that is God-given, in my opinion, right? Because your rights as an individual don't come from the state. They come from the creator. And so what is money? But basically, it's a way in which we tally up the labor. And then if you go to school and you're like a surgeon, or you're I don't know, maybe you're an attorney, you can charge a lot for your time, right? But somebody that doesn't have a lot of education, they got to go sweat, right? Your experience and all these things. But at the end of the day, you have to generally do it. Now, everybody's looking for passive income, right? They're looking, wow, how can I leverage my labor? And so smart people, they'll find other people to work for them, right? They think about scalability. They think about different business models. All of these things contribute to this, okay? And so at the end of the day, you're collecting basically a proxy, which is a representation of your labor. And that's what money is. So when I say that the gold is in the hearts of men and women in the Philippines, I mean it. Looks like your camera was unplugged. Plug it back in and select a different camera. Wow, this is the first time this has ever happened, folks. It looks like we've got ourselves an issue. So hang on a second and pause for station identification. All right, we've got, what's so great about having Mr. Ray around is he just steps up to the plate. So looking forward to having him. He just runs downstairs from being in his closet doing his work. And so we'll get this thing fired up here. There it is. It's back. It's back. Look at that. Everybody +1 for Mr. Ray in the chat. ZZ Tesco coming through. It's all good. Just go ahead and turn off the manual. All right. Very good, buddy. Dude, how about that action? Man, we got service. Thanks, Ray. You're awesome. Everybody loves you.
Glad to be here.
Yep. Thanks, buddy. So anyway, why are we mining gold in the hearts of men and women? Because it's a proxy for your labor. So all we're doing is we're contributing. So I want you to understand something. The nature and character, and now the background. Dude, this is awesome. We got the forces of darkness at work. I'll tell you what, folks, what we're doing in DeFi is so powerful. Because look at what's happened to the CZ, right? Look what we're seeing with FTX and Celsius. Look what we're seeing with CFTC and the SEC coming after everybody. What are they trying to do, right? Trying to clamp down and control these centralized players. I want you to see this. When we work together and we agree, we declare our own value. We're declaring something, right? What is fiat? But by decree, what's a decree? We say it is so. So let's say it is so. It's called hex. Let's say it's so. It's Texan. Let's say it is so. It's Ophir. Let's say it is so. So if enough people say that it's so and contribute proxies for their own labor, it's just another representation of that. You could hammer out a gold coin. You could print some ink on a piece of paper. But you have to have a community of people who actually agrees on it. So we're building digital nations. And here's the thing. How do you preserve this? Why is it better? Because it's immutable. There's no centralized authority. There's a fixed supply. It's deflationary. You get some rewards for locking it up. Folks, this is a revolution. And if you understand the power of it, you're like, hold on a second. I got to tell everybody I possibly can that believes in this narrative about this, because this is where the food's at. So what's the nature and character of the tool of the blockchain? Well, guess what? It doesn't have its own nature and character because it's a tool. It's a representation of you. The question is, what is your nature and character? What are you animating this tool with? Goodness, graciousness, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness, self-control? A tree is known by its fruit. What's that mean? A tree is known by its fruit. Oh, that's an apple tree. It creates value. It creates luscious apples or whatever it may be, right? But a tree is known by its fruit. So is a person. So what is the fruit of a person? It is the words that come out of your mouth, the service that you provide, right? So are you an extractor or are you a giver? Are you producing fruit? Do people come around you and go, boy, it's so nice to be around you. You just make me feel better. So thankful that you're a part of this community. So thankful. You're always lifting people up. That's called value, because we're either debiting or we're crediting an account. So what are you doing? Are you crediting it, giving to it, or are you pulling it out? Well, the beauty of the blockchain is you can do both. But you have to come together in community, because just putting up a blockchain contract doesn't mean you got value. You got to have a group of people who believes it, and they have to contribute their proxies for labor, right? What does it become? It becomes Texan token, right? And then you lock it up. But what is it really? Well, it started with the sweat of your brow. It went into your bank account. We called it US dollars or whatever country you live in. And then that got transferred maybe through Coinbase to, like, you bought some ETH, and that ETH went into your MetaMask wallet, and that MetaMask wallet then got swapped for Texan. It's still the sweat of your brow, but most people obfuscate that, or they don't learn what money actually is. It's you. You are the value. So what's the nature and character of the blockchain? Well, it's the collective nature and character of the people who are participating. So what's the power of tokenizing communities? And what's the power of unity? Everything. Everything. It's everything. So why would you go out and love and care for people? And how do you unlock global generosity? By giving? Well, by giving. So what are you going to do? Are you going to take? Are you going to give? The beauty of this, though, is as you continue to increase the momentum of this flywheel, not everybody sells at once, right? Everything goes to zero if everyone sells it at once. Houses go to zero if you sell them all at once. Cars go to zero if you sell them all at once. Basic supply and demand principles. So when people are like, oh, what's the utility? Well, there's a tremendous amount of utility because it's the accumulation of value. Don't let anyone tell you that, well, if you're not doing this or that or the other, that has no value. It has value because you say it's got value. And we say it together that it's got value. So what's the nature and character of Texan token? What's the nature and character of Hex? What's the nature and character of the PulseChain? What's the nature and character of any tool? You can pick up a sword and lop somebody's head off, or you can knight them. And with the tongue, you can curse or you can praise. So the question is, what is your nature and character, and what are you contributing? Because you're contributing a piece of yourself, whether you think you are or you think you're not. But this is true in everything and in every relationship. The question is, when you get out of your truck and you walk in the house, what kind of character are you going to be? And when you interact with people, what kind of character are you going to be? Here's the thing. We're looking in a horizontal perspective. We're literally, imagine this scenario. Imagine that there's a very thin string tied around my neck. And then, or let's say it's you, got one tied around your neck, and that string goes all the way over to your spouse or significant other, right? And that, let's say it's your wife, and your wife's got that thing tied to her neck as well. Okay. Well, what ends up happening is it's kind of taut, right? Sometimes it's got a little slack in it. But what ends up happening is I jerk back and my wife gets pulled forward. My wife jerks back and I get pulled forward. And this constant tug of war. And it's basically a thread that connects everybody together. And that's what we're doing. We're tugging and pulling and everything. But what's really interesting is imagine those two people back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is, I need this. I need that from you. I need this from you. I need that from you. And we go and we take and we go and we take. What's really fascinating is imagine those two things. There's a string in the middle, and God takes that and he lifts that thing up. And what ends up happening is you're looking up as he draws those things together. As he draws them together, what happens? You're not looking straight at the other person trying to pull. You're looking up. And I'm going to tell you, your nature and character comes from what you draw upon. How are you getting filled? Who are you? What is at your core? What's at your base? Do you have a tether? Do you have a moral foundation? Do you even know what you believe in? Do you know what the cover of your book is saying? What is your nature and what is your character? It's a really good thing to examine, especially before you got a lot of money. And you're going to have a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of value because DeFi is only going to increase in this next go round. And it could increase way beyond what you could imagine. Because guess what's happening? The dollar as the world's reserve currency is dying. It's going away. And so there will ultimately be two systems. There'll be this US dollar system that probably will try to convince the NATO countries to be a part of the West. And then you've got these other folks that are over in the BRICS nations, and they're going to gather up a lot of people who go, no, we're tired of being pushed around by America. Interesting, huh? So what happens when they put in this banning TikTok bill, which is not about banning TikTok, it's about controlling you. What do? What do you do? What they're doing is they're saying, hey, I want to be able to put you in jail if you do deals with the people we don't like, which are our quote unquote adversaries. Guess what? All of these people in the United States that have all this money that haven't taken it offshore, which a lot will, have to have someplace to go to get yield. Well, when the dollar fails, and when the rise of China and Russia and the BRICS countries happen, guess what will happen? Things will crash. But people still have an insatiable desire for yield and growth. And where are they going to find it? Well, they can't go to Russia and China and all these places where the growth is likely going to happen. They have to stay here. Well, guess what? DeFi knows no rank or riverbank. There's no centralized control. There's no marketing department. There's no company. And there's trustless yield. DeFi is going to win, folks. As all this stuff crashes around us, and as Babylon burns, we are going to see an amazing renaissance. And it's going to come from the fact that we saw this at the beginning. And thanks to Richard Hart, we understand immutability. We understand no admin keys. We understand not picking up pennies in front of freight trains. And then we've got the innovation of the system state copies and this amazing fork of Ethereum called PulseChain, and then PulseX with buyback and burn, which is unbelievable and deflationary. And you go, hold on a second. Wow. Frees the captives. Who are the captives? Debt and consumer slavery. Giving people a shot. So folks, I'm going to tell you this. You know, Hart's Law. What is Hart's Law? That the things that are bonded in pairs move together. So what happens if Ethereum, which it will, and Bitcoin will move up in the next bull run? Well, if you're bonded with those in pairs in a decentralized exchange, you get to go up too. Well, what happens when people are limited from where they can get yield? What happens when U.S. securities aren't the place of growth? What happens when you're restricted from working with the adversaries of America? You have to find it somewhere. And you're not going to find it in centralized exchanges because they're shutting them all down. Folks, it's going to be messy, but the future is bright. So the question is this: let's work together and let's animate the tools of DeFi with the nature and character that helps free the captives. What is that? It's love, caring for one another, considering of each other, telling people about where the food is, not lording it over them, not setting up new gates, inviting people in, welcoming them, onboarding them, encouraging them. And all you have to say to them is, you know about that Bitcoin thing and that Ethereum thing? Yeah, Ethereum did, it did a 13,000x. Yeah. You know that Hex thing, 10,000x? Oh, yeah. You know that Bitcoin thing? Yeah. Pennies to 69,000. Oh, yeah. Could that happen to me? Yep. I don't know what level, but when I see the things that are happening in the world and I go, man, but I think there's more at stake here than just, show me the money and let's get the Lambo. No. Get that out of your system because you're going to be influential. Why? Because everybody treats rich people like they're smarter. They're not. Now, Richard Hart is smarter, but that's a whole other scenario. But most people get all this attention because they got the money because people play favorites. You're going to be looked to. So what happens when the Texas nationalist movement, all these people that have Texan token, right, that were donating and a part of all this stuff, what happens at the top of the next bull market? Oh, they have the resources. What happens when people who have a political idea and change in mind have money? Oh, they get candidates that believe and understand and act upon their wishes. Texas will once again rise its head and stand among the nations. But this is going to happen all over the world. People are tired of this. They're tired of this. Centralized planners. And what are they doing? You know what's driving a lot of this stuff is this great reset, folks. You're gonna own nothing, be happy. They want to tear everything down. But in the meantime, what I love about this is that we are being provided for, but we have to have the infrastructure to deal with it. So why am I supporting the PulseChain? Why am I supporting Richard Hart? Because he has a vision for freedom and sovereignty without a vertically aligned ecosystem, top to bottom, wallets and on-ramps and off-ramps and security and privacy and layer ones and stores of value and projects and true DeFi, decentralization. We got nothing. We got to have a stable coin, folks. We got to have privacy. We got to have things that are not OFAC compliant. But guess what? When you're outside of the jurisdiction, meaning you've got no admin keys, who do you put in jail? Okay, so find somebody, put them in jail. Who you can put in jail? What's that going to do? It doesn't shut down Hex, doesn't shut down the PulseChain, doesn't shut down Texan, doesn't shut down Ophir, doesn't shut down anything that doesn't have admin keys. What do you mean you're using your money? Yep, we prepared ahead of time. No, not taking your mark. What mark? Well, the mark that keeps us from buying and selling. If I don't take it, you say, I can't have any of that money because I'm not a good boy. My social credit score is not high enough. And my digital ID that's connected to everything, you just shut me off. Why? Because I didn't go along and toe the line. What was that Twisted Sister song? We're not going to take it anymore. That's right. Stand up and push back, folks. There's a lot more at stake than you think. But here's the thing. You have a choice to make. You can just be out for yourself, and you can win by being out for yourself, right? We see this all the time. Whales playing whale games, and they think they're clever, right? Okay, so you got your extra 20%, and you manipulated the market. That's fine, and it's going to happen, right? But I believe that there are enough people that understand the value of community and understand the fact that the more regular people, retail people get into something, the stronger it becomes. And this idea of tokenomics of, locking things up for yield, we're decreeing our own value, folks. And no one can stop us. That is one of the most powerful things that's happening right now. But recognize that money's just a tool. So how are we going to use it? We're going to change the world, folks. We are going to free the captives. We're going to unlock generosity. Why? Because we're generous. We're going to give to people. Thanks for joining the Pulse today. My name is Matt. It's 4:00. Let's say hello to you, and then we'll sign off. This is quick. Just a quick one. What's your nature and character? Who are you? What are you going to be about? What's your book cover say to people? It's a good question. But folks, when you've got an abundance and people are looking to you, you better know what to say. You better know what to say. All right, let's see where I left off. I think it was Gabe. What's up, Gabe? Audio is still forced beautiful. ZZ Tesco is a legend. David Lee with the +1. Ray, Kampala, what's up, Kampala? I think it was the big guy upstairs saying that we've got to be there. I'm excited. There you go. Frosty Dog with the +1. CJ Des. That was for Ray. Sam Kemp is shouting out Ray. My Online Ghost. Everybody loves some Ray. ZZ Tesco. Yeah, he was super fast. I literally shut off my mic and yelled at the top of my lungs, and he like sprinted downstairs. So thank you, ZZ Tesco, for saving the day. We had 85 people in here. Extravagant Taste with the +5 because you look better than the logo. Amen to that. Thanks, dude. Rich Liberation. What would the first official Texan meetup look like without David Lee and Hexy Quinn? Isn't that the truth? Hey, we need as many people as we can. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do a generosity conference. I think we're going to call it Gen Con. And that'll happen on the Saturday. The Friday will be the meetup, and we might do something on that Sunday morning for breakfast, but there's going to be a meetup that's going to be everyone's welcome. That'll be on a Friday. And then the Saturday all day will be the generosity conference. And this is for people who want to think about generosity and what does it mean when we've got an abundance and what should we do? And hold on, how do you think through this stuff? And so we're going to bring in some pretty high profile speakers, and you're going to get an example or an opportunity to understand what that looks like. But the space will be limited on that. We'll have more details coming up, but that's going to be the first big like meetup. And then we're going to have a conference there. All are welcome who want to really engage in the depths of what does it mean to have an abundance, and what does it mean when you're a steward of these resources, and what does it mean to actually be generous? What does that mean for you? How are you going to deploy? You know, you got to take care of your family, you got to take care of all these things, but what is this for in this season? Because I have a feeling a lot of people will be suffering, and they're going to be looking to you. And the question is, do you have a plan? So we're going to be talking about that at the Generosity Conference, and I hope that you would come into that. More details to come. Steve Wright, Matt, you're the best. Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. Oh, thanks, man. I love Santa Barbara. You know, what's interesting is Santa Barbara, if you look at the map, it actually curls out and has, I think, like a north to south view of Catalina Island. And the way the sun sets and everything, it's really cool there. It's different than just most of the coastal towns. Santa Barbara, man, it's beautiful. The smell of, what is it? Eucalyptus and lemon. Sam Camp, what's going on? MJ Money. You so philosophical. Well, that's what you get when you come here. This is no TA, if you know what I'm saying. Love it. Hex Money. When you live long enough to see both your dark and light characters come out, every day we try to emphasize the lighter one. Amen. Dude, Hex Monkey, you're so right? You get to be a certain age and you realize, man, I messed up a lot. But it continues to get redeemed. And as long as you understand that there's a redemptive thread through all of it, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Maturity, right? That's what it is. Sam Kemp knows what I'm talking about. Hex Monkey's still a spring chicken, though. Yeah. Hex, let's see. My Online Ghost. Bugs, what's going on, dude? Hex on air. Hey, fam, a little late to the party. Glad that you're here. Crypto Pez. Hey, Matt. Glad I caught you live again. Hex has a tempering quality to strengthen the character of the personal steel. Isn't that the truth? Got to quench it in the oil, right? And then we got to temper it back, right? So how do you do that, right? You take it, you heat it up so it's non-magnetic. You quench it in the oil, and then it gets super hard, but it's brittle. And then you got to, like 400 C, I think it is, or 400 Fahrenheit. You got to let it sit and soak for a couple hours. So it ends up being those crystals, if you will soften up a little bit so that it is hardened steel and strong. It's strong. Got to love the ginger, though. Well, yeah, we got to have. I mean, if Rags isn't going to be there, it's no meetup, if you know what I'm saying. The only one. Hey, Crypto Heartbeat and David Lee, all my other fellow Hexicans. Long live Texican Hexicans. What's up? The only one. He's got this shirt that on one pocket it says Hexican, and on the other side it says Texican, and I love it. So great. Tiger, join, team win. Amen to that. Freedom. Hexicans are the smartest people I've ever met, and rich too. Well, you know all about that, the only one. It is right that God sees you at the corner of his eye. Great stream. I've gone on vacation to Orlando. Liberty or death. Good to see you hitting all the parks. Hex launched when I was at Disney. V3 launched, and so I'm 1.5 for 2. There you go. I was hoping PLS would launch and I'd be 2 for 2. Great to be back. You know, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. You know, Richard and then his buddy Brent, I think, are pretty good indicators or, gauges for all this stuff. So we'll see. But we're going to, in the meantime, keep on giving, bringing the value. That's what we're trying to do. Bring the value to others, folks. I'm going to tell you, if you ask for opportunities, who should you be encouraging, right? Just think about that. Who should you give to today? Who should you call? Call your mother, right? What should you do? Think about that. You'd be amazed what pops up into your mind. Have you heard about Liberland? What do you think? Liberland? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I need to bone up on that one. Good regular people have to have a say in what comes next. Yeah, we're creating a future for ourselves where we don't have to rely on centralized parties to get ahead. It's amazing. Wake Dog just bought me some Hex. Go, go, go. There you go. Liberty to death. Great message, Matt. When the banks that are left will not allow us to buy crypto, we will still have our freedom in DeFi outside of their controlled CBDCs for the captives. That's it. And what does it really ultimately push it to? There will be infrastructure that's being built, and there will be some middlemen, but there will be infrastructure at point of sale for crypto. There's just too many people around the world that have crypto. And because of Ethereum, and then ultimately the PulseChain, that you're going to ultimately, I think, be able to, how do you want to transfer your value? It's a proxy of your labor. It's your private property. What does the retailer want? Maybe the retailer wants the CBDC. The settlement layer that creates the value at the end, right? I've got Coca-Cola. You want to buy a Coca-Cola at my store? Great. How much is it? Well, this Coke is $1.50 US. Okay. You're going to be able to pay with crypto. It's going to auto convert, and that person is going to decide what they want to receive. There are going to be Hexicans who accept Hex, and there'll be Texicans who accept Texan. But this is all going to have the utility, I think, at point of sale because of the infrastructure that's going to be built. But we have to build on the PulseChain. Here's the thing. People have asked Richard, hey, why'd you do the PulseChain? And he says, I built it for Hex. But that's not all that he's done, because he has said freedom and sovereignty. He said freedom of speech and freedom of movement. He is carrying the mantle for, I think, the alternative to the CBDCs. They're going to shut down all the centralized stuff, and we're going to be standing tall in DeFi. And we need Richard Hart, man. We need to be in tip-top shape, ready to go. More bodies left in the dust, in the ditch. Tank Crypto, it was good to hear from you earlier today. Thanks for being here on the stream, David Lee. Lots of whales have wrecked themselves because they didn't understand the value of community with vision. Mudhog. Love this family. Hey, all. Rango, the third, a.k.a. Hex Sushi. What's up? Spella S. Hello, Crypto Heartbeat, everyone. Happy that I catch you live. Usually, I always need to listen to the recordings. Greetings from Slovenia. Fantastic. Spella, thanks for being here. Let's see. Fantastic show, Matt. Rain coming down in Melbourne this morning. Hey, that's good. Let it rain. Some whales didn't recognize the value of that vision. Yep, different level. Davis, super pumped. Everyone's here. Those who take big chances get big rewards, right? That's the truth. And by the way, Ophir Crypto is in its donation phase, right? None of the money goes to the people in Ophir. It goes to a nonprofit called Gem Effect. Check them out at ophircrypto.com and see what they're accepting. USDC, USDT, SLP, which is the Smooth Love Potion, I think. And then Texan and Hex and Ethereum. And so what's really cool about it is that's how token distribution is being done for Ophir. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Hey, homies. Crypto, what's going on? Good to see you. Slovenia. Wow. The reach of this community is remarkable. It's so great to have friends across the world. The truth will set you free. Let's go, Hex. 1000X. Absolutely. Let's go. Hex Glenn is here and Crypto Stylist. You know what? It's so cool. Crypto Stylist is back. We've got Crypto Panda's back. Who else is back? David Feeder is back. I saw Gerardo back. I saw Hodl Dog back. Man, I'll tell you what, folks. It's getting good. You can tell they're all coming out of hibernation. It's going to be so big. It's going to be so big. But there's going to be a lot of crisis and a lot of people challenged. And you watch, August 1st, everything changes. The US dollar ceases to be the world's reserve currency because they're not paying for 85% of the oil and gas in dollar bills, y'all. Dollar dominance is about to end. And this isn't about some small little bank going under. This is the whole shooting match. And we are going to be the beneficiaries of Babylon burning. The kings of earth will bring their splendor into the kingdom. You will feast on the wealth of nations. Crypto Bigfoot, hello all. Good to see you. What's going on? Airtoe, I can see the islands from here. There you go. The islands. You know, what's amazing to me is the Philippines has like 4,700 little islands and big islands. Academaciated, the guy that no one can pronounce his name except Crypto Heartbeat. Academaciated. Hello, all. Jack YX. I'm back. Jack, welcome back. ZZ Tesco. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who saves the day all the time, puts out the fire. That's the guy. Hey, guys, just a few minutes behind. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here, buddy. Thanks for all your help. Glad to be here, moving the ball forward. Thank you for your welcome. Been 2 years apart from this community, just not so loud. Hey, Spella, thanks for being here. I think there's a lot of lurkers out there waiting for PLS. Bye. Isn't that the truth? There are a ton of them. And you know what's so neat about it? We're in the process of building a business, a blockchain software development company called Infinite Development. And we're all going to be like full-time, like hardcore going after these communities and helping really build. Because, you know, if a community is going to be tokenized, you don't have to be a genius to realize that you should do that in the bear market, right? No one wants to like build at the top and then just decline. They want to build at the bottom. And so we've got a lot of opportunities for additional communities that would be tokenizing. And that's where there's huge opportunity because those are no coiners. So we're getting serious, folks. We're getting serious. But it's really cool because I'm meeting all these people. And they're like, oh, yeah, I've been a Hexagon since day one. I'm like, I've never, ever, ever seen you or heard of you. And they're like, yeah, I'm not on social media. I got in at the beginning. I'm like, what? Yeah, a lot of people. Be amazed how many people in our community just watching, just paying attention. Church of the Universal Oneness gets the last comment. Peace, love, and good health, everyone. Good to see you here. So, folks, to wrap things up, this is a unique time in human history, and you are in the right place at the right time. We're on the heels. No, we're on the dawn of the PulseChain launch. We're about to go viral, folks, because everybody's going to get a copy on the PulseChain. If you don't know what it is, it's an Ethereum fork, which is just a copy. But what it does that no one has done before is it copies over the system state. So all your tokens that are on Ethereum are now going to be on the PulseChain. People support what they help to create, right? No one fuds their own bags. So if you've got bags, it's going to be a really interesting, amazing thing that happens that's shocking to people. Because all of those users have the opportunity to change their RPC settings and boom, Bob's your uncle. It's pretty incredible. So that's going to be huge. And then, of course, you know, liquid DEX like PulseX. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but there was $1.6 billion sacrifice for Pulse and PulseX. That's a lot of economic energy. And there's all of us telling all of you and all of the people we have around us where the food is. It's a big, big opportunity. But what is your nature and what is your character? And recognize that every time you speak, right? What did Abraham Lincoln say? What did he say? He said, better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. So we want to be cautious about what story are we telling, right? I put on, you know, do my hair, put on a jacket, all that stuff. What is the story I'm telling? Look at Brandon, right? He just buries his face in Cheeto dust and just goes on the stream. Right? Everyone's telling a story. But what I love about Brandon's story is like, don't comment, don't subscribe, don't do all that. He's like everybody's big brother, right? He's the wingman. He is the mayor of Sassy City. And it's so good to have a guy like him who's watching out for us. And it's cool that everyone gets to be their own character. All you have to do is be authentic. I hope that you would choose good rather than evil, especially if you got a bunch of money. Because evil people with money, we got too many of them. Let's have more good people with money. We don't need more Bill Gates. We need more Brandon Davis. We need more David Lees. So what is your nature and character? And how are you going to animate this tool that's called money that you put in a proxy of your labor? And you worked with a group of people and you created a whole new system, a decentralized system, and you supported the alternative to the CBDCs. We need to stand behind the PulseChain, stand behind Richard Hart. He is going to go ahead of us. And he's going to take a bunch of arrows, but he is capable. Every one of us would fold like a card table, but not Richard Hart. Richard Hart's going to go the distance because it's for the glory. So we need to have an alternative because I ain't taking the mark, my friends. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. My name is Matt. It's Crypto Heartbeat. Have yourself a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Do not mess with Texas, folks, or the Philippines. Take care.